ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another evening of Shear Chat. I am your host, Dr. Rashawn Broadnex, and I am here to talk about the 10 secrets to becoming and maintaining your status as a successful stylist or barber. Let me turn this down just a little bit. I wanted to welcome you all to my house this evening. I have turned my living room into the Shear Chat studio. It has given me an opportunity to share some of the things that I have learned over the past few years of being a stylist, share them with you all. So again, this evening's topic is how to become and how to maintain your status as a successful stylist or barber in the beauty industry. So rule number one, or not rule number one, because I don't really want to call them rules, but let's just say tip number one is you have to establish a strong foundation. So establishing a strong foundation is, if you are a stylist or barber and you're at the beginning of your career, you want to focus on, the things that you need to learn in school, meaning focus on the foundation, the basics. Focus on those things that we build on to becoming a successful stylist or barber. So the foundation is very, very important. So many people think, oh, I don't have to go to school, I'm just doing hair, or I have a natural talent to do hair. You have to focus on the foundation, because just like a house, if your foundation is shaky, then your house will not be able to stand. You will not be able to have a long-standing career in the beauty industry. You'll be like so many stylists and barbers we see today who are good at the trend, and once the trend is over, there goes their career. They kind of fall by the wayside. That is tip number one. You have to have a strong foundation. Number two, you have to be committed to continuing education. So that means that even after you finish school, you've gotten your license, just because you reach the level where you have your license does not mean that you no longer have to take classes. You want to continually take classes because you want to build, like we said, on the foundation. You want to add to it, just like you were building an apartment building. You've set your foundation. Now you have to start to build the floors. And as you build the floors, you can take in more and more people because you'll know how to do more and more things. So number one, you want to have a great foundation. Number two, you want to continue your education by continuing to learn, and you can do that in lots of different ways. Number three, you want to attract, or not you want to, but you will attract whatever it is that you project. So, for instance, if you are a happy or bubbly person, you project that to your clients, or you project that out. That is exactly what will be drawn to you. You draw what you project. If you are a person that is kind of subdued, that will be your clientele, because what you put out there, if you're just kind of like mild-mannered and very subdued, that is what will come to you. I have a lot of people that I work in the salon with that have all different personalities. We have ones that project a very professional personality, and we see they draw a very professional clientele. If you project those that project that they have that happy, bubbly personality, they project that as well. They receive that as well in their clientele. We see that all the time. We have barbers that are not necessarily the most professional. Now, this is not in my salon, but we see it. They are not necessarily the most professional, and stylists, they draw a clientele that is like that. So whatever we put out, whatever we project, that is actually what comes back to us. Number four, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I cannot tell you, if I personally had not been so afraid of making mistakes, I believe I would be so much further along in my career than I am. I am in a great place in my career, I think, but I can just imagine that if I had not been so fearful of making mistakes, I would be so much further, because I would have learned so many more lessons. For so long, I stayed doing the same things because that's what I was comfortable with. And I never took the opportunity to try new things. And that kept me from growing personally and professionally. And that also kept my clientele from growing. So I'll say never be afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes can always be fixed one way or the other. Sometimes, it takes a little more to fix that mistake. But when you make a mistake, learn from it. That is the key. Make your mistakes and learn from it. But that is also what school is for. Why it is so important to go to school is because that is your ground where you make your mistakes, because there are instructors there that are there to guide you and teach you and help you learn from those mistakes. Even in the salon, you can make mistakes, but it is so important, again, to learn from them. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Number 5, customize your work. Even if your work is like just absolutely the best. You do the best, say, weave, or you do the best haircut, you do the best fade, you do the best short hairstyle, wrap and curl, whatever. The most important thing is to make sure that that particular style fits the client that you're putting it on. Everybody cannot wear everything. Every facial shape, what we learn in school, is different. There are a couple of different facial shapes that all people fit within. So you have to find the style that fits on that particular person in order for it to be the most complimentary. If you do not, you will end up with styles that don't quite look the best on that particular person, and oftentimes a client may not be happy. That can be a tough situation when a client comes in, especially those that go through magazines or look online and they find pictures and they say, look, this is what I want to look like. This is the style that I want. When you look at that person, they like that particular style, but you look at that person in the picture's face and it is not the same shape as the person that is sitting in front of you, or their features are very different, and you know that the hairstyle will not be complimentary on the person, on your client. It is best to tell them up front and say, hey, I know you like this style. This style is slightly different, or I don't believe that it would particularly work for you, but what I can do is customize a style for you using this particular style that you brought as a base, and customize it for you, for your facial shape, to accentuate those features that you have that are so dynamic. You want to play up the features that they have, so it will accentuate the features that you have and make you look absolutely amazing. I believe that this style may not look as great on you as it does in the picture, but I am going to create a style using that as a base that will look amazing on you. So that's number 5. You want to customize your work. So let's do a quick recap, because I want to take this kind of slow, and I want to make sure that you get absolutely the most from it. So the first thing was you have to have a strong foundation. Number 2, you want to commit to continuing education. Number 3, you attract whatever it is that you put out there. So whatever you put out is what you're going to get back. Number 4, don't be afraid to make mistakes. And number 5, you want to customize your work. Make sure that whatever it is that you're creating fits the person that is in front of you. Let's move on to number 6. Number 6, you want to work hard. This is a professional industry, and you always want to bring your A game to it. You don't want anyone, when you go to get your hair cut or your hair done, you wouldn't want somebody to halfway do the job. So you want to give 100% each and every time you have a guest in front of you. Put your A game on, give the client absolutely 100%. Put your work up on social media. Now that is a whole different ball game. Your work on social media should be a reflection of you. Use the work that you have, so that means that every client that you do, you want to see if you can take a picture of them so that you can upload it to your site. Now, a lot of clients that I find, they are happy, especially your good clients, your repeat clients, they're more than happy to take a picture for you and allow you to post it on your website or on your social media, because they're happy with the job that you've done, and you're very happy, of course, to have them as a client. So you want to showcase them as your client. put all the work up on social media. Not the things that may not look so hot if you decide, but if you so happen to not give your A game to a particular style or haircut, and it falls short of your expectation, you may not want to upload that, but you do want to take a picture of it, because from that you can take and look at it and learn from it. Number 8, you want to invest in your business and invest in marketing materials. So number 1, we know that business cards are, so important. When we meet people on the street, we definitely want to have something to give them. Nowadays, there are so many ways of doing that. We are all very tech savvy. There are companies that will create a business card for you and upload it for you, so that when somebody says, hey, do you have a business card, you don't have to worry about saying, oh no, I don't have one. You can reach right in your phone and forward it to them, and they will have an electronic business card for you. Now, if you want to go ahead and do the traditional paper business cards, those are amazing, because when you're in the salon, you definitely want to have that to give to a client when they're leaving. I love to give my business card, even to clients that I have had, give them a card when they leave, because those clients, though they may not need the card, they may pass the card on to someone else. So it's like keeping them always stocked with business cards so they can help perpetuate your business. Number 9, attend trade shows and classes. So this goes back to like number 2, the continuing education, but this is number 9. Attend trade shows. Trade shows are amazing. They are a great place to not only get continuing education and learn lots of new techniques, but you can also get your tools and updated tools at trade shows. So let's take, say, Bronner Brothers is a great example. They have 2 shows in Atlanta, Georgia twice a year. We tend to go to those shows not only for the education, but as an opportunity to also purchase new tools, or tools that you may need to update, or you may need a new one of because you've broken it. It's a great place to do all of that. And also, it's a great networking place. I can't tell you how many times I have gone to a trade show and run into various people. And not only because I work at a beauty school, and I am in the salon, it's a great place to make those connections, so I can have educators come to the school, or I can see if educators can come to our salon to help teach us the new and current trends and techniques, the styles, or how to work certain tools, things like that. Trade shows are an amazing place to go, and I think that a lot of stylists and barbers miss out when they miss the opportunities to go to trade shows, or they opt not to go. Our final tip of the evening, be flexible with your clients. This is something that I have to say, I see a lot of people, or stylists and barbers, they forget to do. They forget to be flexible with their clients. When their book starts to grow, or put it this way, I'll use this as an example. When they first begin, they have tons of room on their book. So clients can book whenever, however they want, on their schedule. As we get busier as barbers and stylists, we get less room for flexibility on the schedule. But we often forget about those that have been with us for a long period of time. And as they are unable to book appointments within the slots that we have available, sometimes we become so quick to say, no, I can't do that. We want to remember the longevity of the client relationship. If they've been with us for a long time, you want to yield and bend and be a little flexible for that person, because they have invested in you over the years. So you want to continue to be flexible with your clients. Of course, not let them walk all over you, and not let them jump all over your schedule. So you have to have some guidelines, but you do want to be slightly flexible with them, and let them know if you are unable to accommodate them on one particular day at a particular time, I am able to accommodate you here on this particular day at this particular time. If it starts to go back and forward, see what you can do in order to keep that client coming to you, to keep them happy, because they will remember that time that they absolutely needed you to be flexible with them, and you were, and they will appreciate it so much more. So those were my quick 10 tips to being, to becoming, to maintaining a level of success as a stylist or a barber. Those were my tips. This is Dr. Rashawn Broadnax. I just wanted to give you that quick 15-minute lesson, and I am out of your hair. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is Shear Chat, Dr. Rashawn Broadnax, and we'll see you again next time.